Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome back. There it is, Tuesday morning. Hope you're having a great day so far. Coffee's really, really good this morning. My name is Don K. Preston. I am the president of Preterist Research Institute of Ardmore, Oklahoma, and this is what I call my morning musings. We're currently involved in a study of the fantastic book of Zechariah. Now, as I've told you already, this is going to be a thematic study. I just not going to involve myself in a verse by verse exegesis of this marvelous book, but there are just some wonderful themes and topic subjects that are found in the book of Zechariah that are really in many ways a continuation of motifs that have been introduced in earlier books. And today's examination is a great example of that. In chapter 3, you say, well, boy, Preston, that was quick. You got chapter 1 and 2 already by. Well, yeah, things probably won't go that fast from now on. But be that as it may, in chapter 3, we are introduced to a marvelous vision that is enigmatic in a lot of ways. We're not going to go into it in tremendous detail. But Joshua the high priest stood before the angel of the Lord, and Satan was standing at his right hand to oppose him, etc., etc. And the Lord emphatically said, after putting beautiful garments on Joshua, after putting a beautiful turban on his head, he said, he is for a sign for Israel. So what was taking place there was indicative of something else. Joshua was not the fulfillment of what had gone before. Joshua was, as a matter of fact, a sign of what was to come. So that indicates something to us. Well, what was he supposed to be a sign of? Well, it tells us, for behold, I'm reading down here now verse 8 and 9, for behold, I am bringing forth my servant the branch. For behold, the stone that I have laid before Joshua, upon the stone are 7 eyes. Behold, I will engrave its inscription, says the Lord of hosts, and I will remove the iniquity of that land in one day. Oh my goodness gracious, we could go on and on about that. But I want you to notice, I'm going to bring forth the branch. This concept of the branch is extremely rich. Isaiah particularly introduces us to the concept of the coming of the branch. Point number 1, the branch would come in the last days. In Isaiah chapters 2 through 4, which is a united, unbroken, harmonious vision, it is set in the last days. Isaiah chapter 2, verse 2 and following. It shall come to pass in the last days that the mountain of the Lord's house shall be established. Now, the entire last days drama, the narrative of the last days is laid out there. And Isaiah chapter 4, verse 2 tells us, in that day. And all you have to do is follow the references to in that day to know this is a united prophecy. In that day, the branch of the Lord shall be glorious. Now, I want you to notice something. This is about as far as we'll get today. In Isaiah chapter 4, in that day, the day of the appearing of the branch, the Lord would purge the blood guilt of Jerusalem by the spirit of judgment and the spirit of fire. So here we have the branch, and by the way, the Hebrew is the shamash, if I pronounced that correctly. And it would be at the day of His coming that Jerusalem would be purged of her blood guilt by judgment and by fire. So the appearance of the branch in this context is not a prediction of the incarnate work of Jesus, not in Isaiah 2 through 4. This reference to the coming of the branch is a time of judgment and a time of fire, in which, now notice this, the blood guilt of Jerusalem would be purged and cleansed. Notice Zechariah chapter 3, verse 9 and 10. At the appearing of the branch, the Lord would cleanse the land, purge the land of her iniquity. So we got perfect harmony here. Now, when did Jesus say that all of the blood of all of the righteous shed on the earth, the blood of which Jerusalem was guilty? When did Jesus say that blood would be atoned, purged? Jesus said it would be in His generation. Matthew 23, 35 to 37. So we have two passages here, both of which predicted the coming of the branch. Isaiah lets us know it would be in the last days. Both of them predict that when the branch would come, He would atone for the land, purge the blood guilt of Judah and Jerusalem, and we have Jesus saying that the blood guilt of Jerusalem would be atoned and judged in His generation in the judgment of Jerusalem. Wow. The coming of the branch is a powerful, powerful eschatological motif. I want you to know that in my book, Who is This Babylon?, I have an in-depth examination and study of Isaiah chapters 2 through 4. You won't find this material hardly anywhere else. Go to my websites, www.bibleprophecy.com, www.eschatology.org, which, by the way, is finished now. Wonderful, wonderful redesign and work by Angela Tollerson, my webmaster. Order the book, and you will not be charged shipping. Just mention that you saw it on YouTube or Facebook. No shipping charge. Thanks so much for joining me for this morning's Morning Musings. We will look deeper into the prophecy of the coming of the branch on the flip side. We'll see you then.